Number 5. The famous escape from Alcatraz, later made into a movie starring Clint Eastwood. This was one of the most daring prison breaks ever committed. Frank Morris, Clarence and John Anglin broke out of the infamous Alcatraz prison in 1962, using a series of makeshift tools that would make MacGyver jealous, including a drill that was made from a vacuum cleaner's motor. The three chipped away the concrete walls in their cells to escape into a nearby ventilation shaft, before making their way from the ventilation shaft onto the beach. They then escaped on a homemade raft to the San Francisco Bay, where they were never heard from again. While many presume they died in the bay, no bodies were ever found, making this one of the most elaborate and successful prison escapes. Number 4 is war buffs' favorite, The Great Escape. The 1944 escape of 76 Allied soldiers sounds like something that would only be possible on a Hollywood film set. A group of soldiers dug 3 tunnels 30 feet under the Stalag Luft III German prison, using construction methods like wood blocks for support, a series of lamps and even pumps to make sure the soldiers had air to breathe while they dug. Despite their preparation, though, the soldiers ended the tunnel just short of the forest, in plain sight of the guards outside of the gates. While 76 managed to escape, the 77th was spotted, which started a massive manhunt where all but 3 of the escapees were caught. This could be the most touching and successful prison escapes of all time. Number 3. The realistic version of The Inglourious Basterds. The Sobibor death camp was part of the Nazis' Operation Reinhard. The plan to murder both European and Polish Jews and the introduction of mass killing facilities, which housed Leon Feldhendler and Alexander Pekursky, a first-lieutenant Russian POW. Under the guidance of the two, prisoners made knives and other edged weapons in the prison's workshops. And then they invited or waited for the officers to come to the shops to pick up something they had demanded to be repaired before killing them. Half out of the 600 prisoners escaped, making this one of the biggest and most successful prison escapes in the 20th century. Number 2 is Alfred Wetzler's death camp escape. Alfred Wetzler is famous for being one of the few Jews that successfully escaped from Auschwitz death camp during the Holocaust. On the evening of Passover, Wetzler and a friend climbed inside of a hollowed-out woodpile that was supposed to build a section for new arrivals. Accomplices then placed boards around the two and sprinkled the ground around the wood with Russian tobacco soaked in gasoline to keep the dogs from locating them. The two hid for 4 nights before donning Dutch suits, overcoats and boots they had stolen from the camp and heading for the Polish border, using a page from a child's atlas as reference. Number 1 is John Dillinger prison escape. John Dillinger led one of the most impressive and successful prison escapes of all time. After his arrest in 1934, Dillinger was sent to Lake County Jail, which is thought to be escape-proof because of the guards, a mix of policemen and National Guard troops. But Dillinger only took this as a challenge, fashioning a fake gun out of a bar of soap before stealing a sheriff's brand new Ford and fleeing to Illinois. But ironically, driving a stolen vehicle across state lines is what brought him into the trouble with the FBI, leading to his death.